special presentation of Happy Hour. We're having a town hall meeting. We're in the bar. We're answering real questions from real people, and we have an illustrious panel here to help us solve these problems. We're going to hop right to a question. Tell us your name and what's your question?
Joe from Boston, and I'm wondering, do you think that the prospect of abortion being paid for in this health care plan will hurt the vote in southern, more conservative states?
Wow, there's a hot button issue. How about it? We'll go to the Republican on the panel first.
Oh, I think absolutely. You start moving those decisions into the process, it will have an impact. Some members then will end up voting for the bill because they're saying, yes, it's in there, and others will say, it's not going to be, I'm not voting for it if it is in there. The bottom line, it will not be in the bill because that decision will be made by the commissioner.
How can it possibly not be? Because someone at some point will have to choose whether the abortion will be paid for with government funds or not. So it has to be somewhere addressed.
It will be addressed by the commissioner. The commissioner shall address what provisions will be covered in the basic plan and in every basic plan.
So you're saying it's not an issue because the
it's a big issue.
But the commissioner will decide it. Representative Kucinich, you want to hop in on this one?
Well, you know, the Labor Education Committee, when this issue came up, they did say that they basically have to let, as Pete said, a commissioner make decisions on these policy questions. No one should be forced to have an abortion. And I think that this is one of those debates that we have to try to find some common ground to make abortions less necessary, prenatal care, postnatal care, child care, universal health care, a living wage. That's the way we reduce abortions.
All right, congressmen, both good answers on that. All right, guys, we actually got a biz owner here in the bar, guy that every time he's around, all the ladies I end up here having to hear talk about you for the last few hours. It's ridiculous. But Giorgio Collage, founder of Famous Familia, I am. I'm willing perfectly to admit that. But you've got some questions here for the panel. Please hit away.
I love your Italian accent, by the way.
Thank you very much. Tracy
I was kidding. I grew up in the Bronx. Are you kidding me? No, actually, one of the questions I have is for the congressman from Michigan, actually, which is, you know, I think that Michigan, as a state in the union, probably has been more disproportionately affected by the downturn in the economy, obviously given the vertical markets that Michigan represents. And what, if any, policy changes and resulting from the stimulus package or outside the scope of the stimulus package do you see, Congressman, that are going to be coming down the pike that would help Michigan recover? You know, the stimulus package is not going to make us a prosperous country. Hopefully it's going to help stop the bleeding.
I wish that I could say, you know, there's help on the way from Washington, but that's not the case. Actually, the policies coming out of Washington are going to be devastating to Michigan and the Midwest. The whole cap and trade thing, that is going to be devastating to manufacturing. It's devastating to agriculture, two big industries in Michigan. You take a look at the government with the control that it has over GM, the impact that it has on Chrysler, what it's done to dealers, what the government has done with increasing fuel efficiency. That hurts domestic manufacturers. You know, the help's not coming from Washington. It's not coming from Lansing. Michigan is about freeing up opportunities for the people of Michigan to become entrepreneurs and getting government out of the way. You and I were talking earlier. Michigan's got great resources. It's got, you know, plenty of gifts from God, natural resources. It's got a great industrial base with our engineering group, our manufacturing base, education, hospitals, and those types of things. Tourism. We invite all of you to come to Michigan, enjoy our skiing in the winter, golf now. It's a great state. We will come back, but if the help's not coming from Washington right now, Washington's putting up more barriers to Michigan's recovery right now.
It's going to come from your entrepreneurs. And Giorgio, you have businesses in Michigan.
Actually,
we want him to have a business.
We want to go there, so I guess the
want
congressman will be speaking soon.
I want to be cutting the ribbon there in about 2 years.
Right now to get into Michigan.
You got another question for the panel, though? Would you like to get one for Congress, the Democrat over there, Congressman Kucinich?
Yeah. Hello, Congressman. How are you?
Hi. How are you?
Actually, you know, I'm a small business owner. My brothers and I started the business about 23 years ago yesterday, and you know, I happen to believe, again, as a small business owner, but even as an American, that small business is the lifeblood of the economy. It is the spirit of this country. And the congressman from Michigan was talking about really the entrepreneurial spirit that we all have as Americans. I hope that we all have it. And so I was wondering, what do you see from your perspective, from the domain in which you stand, in terms of policy changes that may be affecting small business owners like myself in the near term, in the near future?
Well, one of the things we need to do is help small businesses get access to capital. The credit lines are being pulled. Banks are crushing small businesses right now. And as chairman of the Domestic Policy Subcommittee, we're going to start looking at that in northern Ohio and other areas of the country. I mean, it's just a fact of life that small businesses which rely on credit are getting wiped out. The next thing is health care. Small businesses under the plan that I have would benefit from a single-payer plan because they wouldn't pay the same and they wouldn't be subject to the kind of oppressive premiums that they currently have to pay, or they have to tell their employers they can't that they can't insure them. I want to also speak to what Pete said. Michigan and Ohio, where I come from, they're in the same boat. If we got rid of NAFTA, it would help auto, steel manufacturing. If we went back to if we had a single-payer system, GM and Ford and others went into trouble to billions of dollars because they couldn't afford to pay their health insurance. Canada was subsidizing about $1,200 per car because they have a single-payer system. We also need to protect our water supply in the Great Lakes because that's our future, and we can go towards a green economy, wind, solar, microtechnologies. We could put tens of millions of homes, lowering the carbon footprint, lowering the cost of energy, and finally, we need a new infrastructure program. Rebuild America. Put trillions of dollars into rebuilding bridges, water systems, sewer systems. This country has not yet seen its finest days, and they could be just ahead of us if we have an aggressive approach towards managing this economic crisis.
Representative Kucinich, I agree with you wholeheartedly, but then we have to be very careful about taxing our small businesses like Giorgio Collage. And Giorgio, thank you so much for coming and joining us on this special edition of Happy Hour. Our town hall continues in just a moment. We're going to take a look at how we're going to wind up paying for the upcoming health care reform. This is a big issue, and it's frightened a lot of people who fear that their burden for this will be unmanageable. So we have Moody's chief economist, John Lonsky. He's here to join the panel and help break it all down. We'll be right back.